It is the RIOT on RadioU. The fundraiser still going on. You can still donate at RadioU.com. One more day after this, and then we'll be all through with it. Isaiah, you're an iPhone user, correct?
I am.
Have you seen the new update coming your way? One of the great features about it.
What is it?
It is that the new iOS update will allow you to have, let's just say, NSFW images blurred out if you get them in your messages.
Wait, what?
If you have an iPhone in your messages,
okay,
if somebody sends you an unsolicited nude, it will blur it out to save you the trouble of having to, so you don't have to look at it. You'd have to click, I want to see this.
Really? Yeah. In your messages?
Uh-huh.
They do that. That's on Twitter.
Uh-huh.
It'll be like, for certain things, it'll be like, and on TikTok too.
Okay.
It'll ask you like, do you want to see this? This could be graphic.
Yeah.
A lot of times for injury things. That's what it usually is for me. Mm-hmm. People getting hurt. It's like, do you want to see this? Yeah. Kind of weird through your messages though, but maybe I get it. I don't know.
This is specifically meant for, I don't know if it will do violence if somebody's sending you a violent video or something, but if they do send you some kind of, nude, then Apple is going to blur it for you. Now, you might be worried thinking, oh, Apple's going to get all of my pictures now. Is that how it works? All my messages are going to be able to see all the pictures? Supposedly, no. It will only be on your device. Machine learning somehow will be able to detect if you're getting nudes, and it will blur them out and give you the option then of, do you want to see this or not?
See, I think that this cannot be one of the top things that iPhone users were like, we need. I feel like they're really not taking our feedback much.
What do you think you need on your iPhone?
I would love instant charging, where I could just plug it in and it's just charged. How have we not figured that out?
I don't know. Charging's gotten pretty fast.
Not fast enough. It's 2023. Can I not just get an instant Can I not just plug it in and just go from 0 to 100? It's like the one thing that I really need is just having it charged, so that I don't have to worry about it.
I also think it seems like it'd be easier for them to figure that out than figuring out how to
blur. Yes.
Yeah, randomly blur images that they think are people's private parts.
Or make Siri be able to actually be useful for her to understand what the heck I'm saying.
Yeah.
When I ask her to do something, she could figure something out for me.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be cool too. But nope, we're getting the nudes blurred.
Yeah.
That's what we're getting. I would rather get the instant charge. Well, 0 to 100.
Maybe you just don't get very many unsolicited nudes.
Yeah. True.
But for people for some people, that could be a problem. For some people, I bet you it is. Your phone number, especially, what do you get? You get doxxed, and then all of a sudden you got a bunch of, wieners coming your way. You don't want that. So I don't know. I think that could be a problem. I can see for specific people, this could be very, very, very helpful, I would say.
How about this? I got another idea.
Yeah, okay.
Right? This is for our Apple Watch users. This should be a thing.
Okay.
Right? So I have an Apple Watch, and one saying they should have on there is a saying that's like, you're leaving your phone. So if I have my phone sitting here, and I get a certain distance away, it should give me a buzz like you're leaving your phone.
That sounds smart.
That's a good idea,
if they don't have
right?
that, right? Yeah, because you don't want to lose. My wife, she doesn't have an Apple Watch. She does have an iPhone. She leaves her phone. She loses it all the time.
Exactly. And they have a ding.
Yeah.
To where you can ding it. But when you're in the action of leaving it, if they just buzz you right then you know exactly where it is. You're like, oh, I just left it right here.
Yeah.
Instead of having to search around and be like, ding. Also, you can't. This is another thing that's messed up. You can't see on a little map where your phone is from your Apple Watch.
Well, that doesn't make sense. It's your Apple Watch.
Exactly. You should be able to see on there where the heck your phone is. Because you can see where your Apple Watch is on your phone.
Yeah.
But you can't see where your phone is on your Apple Watch.
And you're more likely
on your wrist.
You're literally wearing it.
Yes.
Why would you need to know where it is? You should know. Those are all good features. I'm sure somebody probably could chime in and say, actually, you can do that if you just set up this thing and this thing and this thing. But it's probably, why can't they just make it simple and obvious? I'll tell you, for me, I just got a new phone and I just keep discovering more and more that I just want my phone. I just want it to be smooth. But all these other new features, this one is the first phone I've had that has a fingerprint sensor and face unlock and stuff like that. And I disabled all. It doesn't help me at all. No. I don't feel like it really benefits me. They've come up with a lot of things that I don't think I really need. And I don't think I'm behind the times. I just think a lot of it is unnecessary.
Yeah, that's like everything nowadays. We've met all of like these are the things you need standards. And now everything that we have are all just aesthetically pleasing things.
Superfluous.
Yeah, people, we could have perfectly performed 20 years ago. And everything was just like a little bit slower.
Yeah.
And we couldn't do all these cool things that we can do now. But none of them are actually like you have to be able to do. You don't need 7 cameras on your phone to be able to be a photographer at your local football game.
Yeah, that's true. But nevertheless, if there is somebody out there, I'm sure thinking they're lucky stars that finally Apple will start blurring out all the nude pics that they get that they don't want. I think somebody
must have been asking for it.
Yeah, that's right. Somebody's just like, please, I get so many of these. Please, if only somebody could help me. Well, that's the Worst of the Riot podcast for you. Don't forget, RadioU.com. Not too late to donate during the fall fundraiser. That'll be a big help for us. We'll catch you next time.
See you guys.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the Riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
Isaiah, how long should a first date be?
It's a good question. It's all about, like, the feel, the vibe. But you ride that sucker out. You ride it out.
So you're saying the longer the better. If everybody's having a good time, don't put a time limit on it.
100%, yeah.
I have here a relationship expert who says you're all wrong. This is dating and relationship coach Kate DeRocher, who says that you should always attempt to keep your first dates under 2 hours. 2 hours is like the sweet spot. Would you like to know why?
She can continue, though.
Yeah, she says that while longer dates that might seem fun and romantic, it can lead to early attachment and obsession with someone that you only have just met. Additionally, it could distract you from any potential red flags that might come up along the way, which is why you might want to, instead of having all that, just extending that first date out, you might want to put a cap on it and come back to it in a few days, see if you're still having so much fun.
So she's saying maybe it'll go too good.
Yeah.
If it extends out. She's saying shorten it to protect yourself.
Right.
Because
you don't want to... You
don't want to find love.
You want to make... I think she's saying you want to make sure you're thinking straight. You know? Once you're going for 2 hours and there's no end in sight, then you might think, I mean, you're having a good time, of course. If both people still want to hang out with each other for more than 2 hours, it seems all well and good, but there might come a point where, like, maybe your emotion overcomes your sensible side, is how I understand it. And so some of the things that you shouldn't overlook in the other person, you might, because you just get enthralled to obsessed all up front. I can see that side of things.
It's an interesting concept. I think at the same time, if you're falling in love on the first date, that's probably some inner things that you need to figure out on your own before you go on a first date.
Yeah.
If the girl's in love with me after the first date, then that's a red flag as it is. So I think that, if you think that that's a possibility for you, maybe you just hold off a little bit longer.
It could be. Now, I'll tell you, though, Isaiah, that not only does Kate DeRocher, dating and relationship coach, think you need to keep things 2 hours or so, but so does America. Because according to a recent poll conducted by Canada Drive for some reason, the average first date is supposed to be less than 3 hours, is what the average American says.
I would say between the 2 and 3 hour mark is usually pretty good, depending on what you're doing. It just all depends on where you're at.
But you're saying never, if it's a first date, you never pull the plug if everybody's still if both sides don't want to pull the plug, keep it going. 2 hours.
Yeah, if it's still going good.
3 hours.
I think if you're under 2 hours, I think that's a wildly short date. Depending on what you're doing, unless you're getting coffee or something for a first date, if you're like going out together for dinner / like drinks or anything, and it doesn't go longer than 2 hours, was it even worth everybody's time?
Well, I mean, yeah.
If it's an hour long.
It depends what you're doing, but I don't think, you surely shouldn't plan. And again, and we've talked about this before, unless it's somebody you already know, but if you're just meeting up from Bumble or something, you shouldn't plan a date to be 2-3 hours.
I think every time. I've only had, I think, one date that's ever been under 2 hours, and that's because I wanted it to end so fast. And I've went on a lot of dates, and they've all easily exceeded 2 hours. Easily. But I guess if you don't have much to talk about, then maybe it'll be closer to 1.
Yeah, maybe. I'll tell you, it's funny you mentioned the most popular first date option, according to this survey, once again, conducted by Canada Dry, the ginger ale. They said coffee date.
That's why nobody ever gets together.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
Check this out, Isaiah. In Massachusetts, a illegal backyard volleyball gambling ring has just been taken down.
That sounds wild.
It sure does. Looks like it was all masterminded by 2 individuals that were arrested earlier this week. They're now facing charges due to the backyard volleyball gambling ring they had going on, where, this thing got pretty, for a backyard gambling ring, it got pretty intense. Yeah, pretty big, pretty impressive. It turns out that the people in charge of this actually wound up paving, this one guy paved over his entire backyard and turned it into 2 full-size volleyball courts.
Well, that's just good marketing.
Yeah, is that illegal?
It's not illegal.
Is that the part that's illegal? He had the spotlight set up too, which is where
he put an investment into this.
He did. He was making a lot of money. Over $1 million, it sounds like, went through this gambling ring.
$1 million?
$1 million for a backyard volleyball gambling.
So were people playing games and people were betting on the games?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
That's not what happened. That doesn't even feel that bad. Does it? Doesn't feel that bad?
I guess when it becomes an $1 million enterprise, then maybe it does.
When I think about it, if me and my friends went and played volleyball and you just happened to show up with Angela and you were like, honey, I bet $20 because Isaiah's team wins this game. Is that illegal? No.
When does it cross the line? Well, I'll tell you that the reason that it raised some suspicion is really just because it was so obnoxious towards the neighbors who were complaining about the lights, as we mentioned, that he set up so they could do this every night. And noise as well, because you can imagine all this hooting and hollering going on.
Yeah.
And then all the extra traffic and cars it brought into the area. People were saying they couldn't get out of their driveways. There's just constant people milling about.
In Milford, this was the spot to be.
Apparently. There must not have been a whole lot else going on in that town. You expect this to be in the middle of nowhere, don't you?
Yeah.
Not in, this is New England.
Oh, so it's in the middle of a lot of stuff.
Populated area. But, I guess I don't know the whole story, but I do feel bad because these guys probably just, I've seen this in TV shows before. It starts with what you were saying. One person bet $20 on somebody else. And the next thing you know, it's getting out of hand and you're like, but I can make some money off of this. I just paid my backyard and all of a sudden I got a cash cow here. And they just take it too far.
They got a little bit greedy. You know what their big mistake was? This was their big mistake. They shouldn't have done it every night. It should have been a Saturday night thing. Just every Saturday night, everyone can come. But if you're doing it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you got to give your neighbors a break.
You do, yeah.
If it was every Saturday night, you're like, you know what? It's a Saturday night. That's just what people do. They have fun on Saturday nights, whatever. They must have some sort of volleyball league on Saturday night. But people don't have volleyball leagues in backyards every night.
No.
So that was a bit suspicious. If they would have just done Saturdays or just on Fridays, they could have let this thing run a little longer.
The neighbors are like, wow, these people really love volleyball.
Yeah, they're playing every single night, I guess.
Night.
Yeah, that's where all the suspicion came from.
I guess.
Next time, limit it.
I wonder if the gambling actually was even illegal or if that was just a part of this whole thing. But I'll tell you what.
It makes it sound a bit more worse, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. But
they were gambling back there.
But I'll tell you what definitely is illegal, and that is having a full-size concession stand where you sell alcohol without permits.
Oh, that's definitely legal.
That's going to get you.
Man, these guys are good.
Yeah.
This is a cat. Yeah, like you said, a cash cow. They were not skipping anything.
Probably worth it for them.
What, did they get arrested?
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
Check this out. Check out these statistics and see if they mean anything to you, Isaiah. Did you know that in any given day, just 12% of the U.S. population makes up for 50% of America's beef consumption?
Americans love beef.
12% of them do.
12% of them really love it.
Yeah.
It's all they're eating.
Eat a lot
over the course of a day.
Beef. And you want to know who that 12% disproportionately is?
Who is that?
Men.
Shocker.
That 12% that's eating all that beef is way more men than women. It's also people over 50 that are eating much more than people our age.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty surprising.
Why do you think that is? I have one theory.
Let's hear it.
Because
I have a theory.
Yeah. I think I'll tell you one reason is because beef is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
You map out the meats. Beef is on the higher end versus chicken and pork, wouldn't you say?
I would say so.
So unless we're just going, I mean, how often? Think about this. How often do you eat beef that's not in a burger?
Pretty low. Pretty low.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I had 2 hamburgers.
Okay.
This week, I've eaten 4 hamburgers. No. 6 hamburgers.
So it sounds like you're part of the 12%. Then.
I think I've eaten at least 7 hamburgers this week.
No, you have not.
I have eaten 7 hamburgers.
Anything else?
I've eaten 7 hamburgers this week. Maybe more. I've had a son of a Baconator, a junior bacon cheeseburger, a double cheeseburger that I made at home yesterday. That's 2 patties.
Yeah.
And then a couple nights ago, I had 2 cheeseburgers yet again made at home by myself.
It sounds like you're in the 12% there, buddy.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's not.
But man's man, I like beef.
You're just disproportionately eating a lot of beef. Now, that was another question that I had, is why do you think it is that men are so much more likely to eat beef? And what is it about beef that makes it a manly food?
I don't know.
Just really good marketing.
Because you're eating an animal, maybe? Could that be it? It seems very carnivore-ish.
Yeah, but why wouldn't a woman do that?
I mean, they do that.
They do, but why is it not? Why is it?
Why do men love meat so much more than women? I don't know.
I think it's
a pride thing. Could it be prideful?
It probably is. There's probably some. I don't know how to put it, but the idea that it's like even though we aren't the ones killing the beef, you and I.
It's almost like we. Yeah. It's like an ego thing.
It's like a dominance thing.
It's like
a power thing.
Yeah, we overtook them. Yeah. We overpowered them.
I'm a man. I'm powerful. I eat beef.
Isn't that wild?
I eat a burger that I didn't kill.
Men are so barbaric.
I know.
Why is that our thing? I don't understand how that's our thing.
But the same thing too, because I guess if all this is true, then it would stand to reason that like women would be more likely to be vegetarians, which do you think that's true? I think it's true.
Oh, it's for sure true.
Because they're more kind and caring, and so they wouldn't want to hurt. They're less likely to want to hurt a creature.
Why does that get to be their thing? That sounds so much nicer.
I don't know.
Wouldn't you rather that be your thing? I would rather be known as kind and caring.
We could be kind and caring.
Than be like a prideful, egotistical killer. That's what men are known as.
The only thing holding us back from being that is doing it.
Well, that doesn't mean it's just a stereotype.
First, you got to stop eating burgers. First of all.
Whoa. Let's not get crazy.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
Choice champions on the Riot. This is where Isaiah and I, we take turns. We do a little snake draft. Today's topic, we'll be choosing teams of desserts. We each get 3, and then it will be for you to decide which of us chose a better collection of desserts. You can also let us know any that missed the cut, any snubs from our teams. Now, I have the first pick in this dessert draft for Choice Champions, and this is a lot of pressure. I am really, I don't know if I should admit this, but I'm nervous. I'm nervous because there's so many great desserts. How can I narrow it down to just one thing? So here's what I'm going to do.
Let's hear it.
I am going to pick with the number 1 pick, Death by Chocolate.
Death by Chocolate.
Yeah, you ever had that?
Go and explain to the people what you're picking at number 1.
I don't even, it's just, so it's a big like casserole dish. I don't know. It's usually on some kind of stand. It's filled with like whipped cream, chocolate cake. There's some kind of Kit Kats in it, I think. There's like chocolate syrup in it. It's just a mishmash of chocolate all in this big pan and in this bowl, and it's delicious every time.
That's your number 1.
That's my number 1.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I think some people will get behind that.
Mm-hmm.
I also think that could be a mistake.
Well, what do you got?
I'm following up with 2 and 3, my personal favorites. This is a very personal list for me.
Okay.
Not trying to please the people.
Yeah.
These are my picks. I'm going number 2 overall.
Uh-huh.
I'm taking cheesecake.
Just standard cheesecake.
Just standard cheesecake. I'm taking a standard cheesecake. I love cheesecake. And then number 3, I'm going with strawberry shortcake.
Oh, interesting.
Those are my personal 1 and 2. If my birthday party, if you showed up, more than likely it's going to be a strawberry shortcake or a cheesecake that is the go-to dessert.
That's a good choice. Those are good choices. For me, I get 2 more picks. And for me, to be very personal, one of my favorites is Boston cream pie. I love the custard, the pie, the cake, and the chocolate. All, I mean, what more could you ask for? And then my final pick, I think, is this going off the board a little bit? Maybe a little unexpected. Peanut butter cookies.
Peanut butter cookies.
Yeah.
Interesting choice.
Now, I will say there's a wide range. Sometimes peanut butter cookies suck. Some people don't know how to make them. Some stores, you buy them at the bakery, they suck. But a good peanut butter cookie is a top 3 dessert for me. Absolutely.
I'm going to wrap it up because I have 1 choice left.
Yep.
With America's favorite. I'm going apple pie.
Oh, that's a crowd pleaser.
Apple pie. If you think about any of your holidays, apple pie is probably there. I'm a big, if you make it right too, there's a difference between like good apple pie and like great apple pie. And I'll tell you, the ones with the crumbles on top, that great apple pie, my favorite. So that's my 3. I've got cheesecake, strawberry shortcake, and apple pie.
Cheesecake is so, I mean, your list is so standard, basic, some might even say.
I would say I just listed my favorite things. When I think about my favorites, those are my favorites.
My favorites, my choices are Death by Chocolate, Boston cream pie, peanut butter cookies. Text in who has the better team at 8772 RadioU and let us know which ones we missed, because I'm sure there's going to be a wide variety of opinions on that. We'll find out what people are saying.
You just heard the worst of the worst. We'd give you the best of the best, but we'd have to find that. As soon as we do, you'll be the first to know.